Awaken yourself to the power of your mind to make things happen. Once you do, the universe would conspire with you to work magic in your life. A very good evening, namaskar, sat sri akal, and salam alaikum to all of you. Friends, our today's topic can change your life, even in next birth, if you follow these rules. The topic is universal law of nature. What's universal law of nature? It's a theory of ethics which we human being possess. Its intrinsic values govern our reasoning and behavior. It states that there are universal moral standards that are seen across time periods and societies. Because these standards form the basis of just society, we would discuss 5 universal law of natures today. So let's start. The first, law of empathy. I'll give you a very interesting example of a passenger who was traveling in the train along with his 5 kids. They all were traveling together and the kids were making too much of noise. And the father was sitting like this. There were a lot of passengers who were getting disturbed because these children were making noise. So after some time, they told that gentleman to take care of their children and control them, because some of them were sleeping, some of them were reading, some of them were chatting, and they all were getting disturbed. Father was sitting like this. Again, after some time, all those co-passengers, they said, "Can you please take care of your children?" The father was sitting like this. It went on and on for some time. And eventually, all the passengers, they started getting very annoyed and said, "Hey, can't you listen me? Can't you listen us? You children are making too much of noise and we are getting disturbed." Finally, the gentleman said, "I'm a salesman." Their mother had brought them up. She died yesterday. We buried her and now going back to our village. Imagine. Everybody changed. And they started giving chocolate to children. They started playing with children. So, before reacting, put yourself in another person's shoes. That's law of empathy. You know, everything that comes out of human being stinks. Our sweat stinks, our saliva stinks, our blood stinks. The only thing that comes out of human being does not stink, and that's a sweet word. So let's ensure that this does not stink and follow the law of empathy. The next is law of gratitude. I'll give you a very interesting example here. You know, one day, one person died and Yamraj took him with him. When Yamraj reached there, the higher intelligence said, "Oh, what did he do? He was not supposed to die. So please go back and drop him quickly." So Yamraj said, "Fine, I'll do that." That gentleman, he told Yamraj that since you have brought me here, so please take me for the tour. Yamraj said, fine. So Yamraj took him to a place. It was a huge room, probably bigger than the entire Delhi and NCR. So that man asked Yamraj, what's happening here? Thousands of people are working in such a huge room. Yamraj said, we receive millions of requests every day here. Somebody wants to become a cricketer, somebody wants to become a film star, somebody says to higher intelligence, give me son, give me money, give me job, and so on and so forth. So all those requests are received in this room. They moved to another big hall that was equally big, and thousands of people were working there as well. So that man asked Imraj, what's happening here? He said, all those requests which we receive, we pack it and send the parcels, courier from here. Fine. They moved to another room. That was a small, tiny room, and two people were sitting and playing cards. So he asked Yamraj that what's happening here? Yamraj said, this is the room where we receive thanks from all those people whom we send the parcels. Now imagine how many parcels were going, requests were coming, but thanks, hardly. Just two people sitting and playing cards. So no one thanks to anybody. I'll give you another very good example which most of you may have heard. It's about 93-year-old Italian man who was hospitalized during COVID. When that man was discharged, he was given a bill of 5,000 euros. He saw the bill and he started crying. So all the nurses and doctors, they also started crying and they said, please stop it, don't cry, we'll take your bill and pay. We'll take care of it. He said, I'm not crying because of the bill. I can afford 5,000 euros. I'm crying because for the last 93 years, I did not pay even a single penny. I didn't even say thanks to Almighty Higher Intelligence even once. And for 5 days of ventilation, I have to pay 5,000 euros. So if I calculate, imagine how much I'll have to pay him, how much I owe him. I feel very proud and happy about my elder son, who has a habit of saying thanks to me and my wife for even the small petty things. Even when we put on geyser of his washroom, he would say, thanks, Dad. All day he would keep saying, thanks, Dad, thanks, Mom, for this and that. So believe in law of gratitude. It does not cost you anything, but it gives you very high returns. Number three, the law of giving and sharing. I'll give you another example about law of giving and sharing. There was a gentleman who had thousands of goats, and he didn't know how to handle so many goats. So one day he met Moses, who go to higher intelligence every day. So he asked Moses, he said, you are going there, please ask him to stop giving me goats. I cannot handle. So Moses said, fine. Moses went there, and when he came back, the goat man asked him that, did you ask God? He said, yes. And God said, let him stop saying thanks to us and we will stop giving him goats. So he said, I can't do that. I can't stop thanking higher intelligence. And then he realized that there are hundreds of other villagers in the village who do not have even a single goat. So he started giving his goats to all those people who were not having goats. That's called giving and sharing. You know, this glass of water, when someone is pouring water, most of us would say it is full, so please stop it. We do not realize that we can share this water with others who do not have water. Instead of stop pouring water or asking someone to stop pouring water, we should start sharing with others who do not have water. The next is law of abundance. Everything is available in the world in a huge quantity, like sea. We always advise that when you go to sea, please carry at least a bucket and not a spoon. If Ambanis and Adanis have so much, does not mean that we can't get more than them. We can, because everything is available in huge quantity. That's law of abundance. The last, the fifth one, law of persistence and patience. I'll give you my own example of persistence and patience. I remember when I had just started my career, I had joined a firm as a medical representative, and we had to sell or rather liquidate some very old stocks in Bhopal. So we got selected and rushed immediately to Bhopal to get the stocks liquidated. The young boss also went with us and he gave us 2 days training. And after that, we were told to go to all the medical shops to liquidate the stocks. So I went to a shop and the shopkeeper was very busy. Now I had to share my script with him and tell him about the schemes also and everything about the product. So the gentleman asked him, he said, tell me, what do you want? I said, no, you finish your work and then I would share with you what I want. The tea came, we had tea. Standing. He kept asking that, tell me, what do you want? And I said, no, once you are free, then only I would share with you. Then I saw him calling a doctor and saying, Doctor Sahab, please prescribe that medicine today. And I realized that he is more important than what I had thought of. There's too much of rush in his shop. He is telling doctor to prescribe particular medicine. So imagine how much he can sell, how capable he is. To cut it short, I was standing there for almost 2 hours. And finally, he had few minutes and I explained him all about the product and about the scheme. I didn't tell him about 2 dozen or 4 dozen. I straight away told him that if you buy 8 dozens, you get this free, and if you buy 16 dozens, you get this free. So he said, okay, send me 8 dozens. I said, no, I'll send you 16 dozens. And he kept saying, no. But then he agreed and he signed the order form. When I told the distributor that I have sold him 16 dozens, but will he pay the money? And distributor said, don't worry about the money. He's a very good customer. So then I said, okay, I myself would go and do the delivery to him. And I would carry 32 dozens and try to sell him 32 dozens. So I carried 32 dozens with me. And I said to him that this is 16 dozens which you had given the order. And this is the 16 dozen which the distributor has sent it from his side. And he said, no, 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 it's too much. I can't sell it. I said, I was told that you can sell comb to a bald man. So this is only 32 dozens. And he took it. That was law of persistence and patience. The day you become a man of values, you become successful. The day you become humble, you become successful. So become a man of values. That's more important in life. Hope you enjoyed listening this video and would transform your life even for next birth. Till we meet next, thank you so very much. Shubhratri, Shabha Khair. Take very good care of yourself and your near and dear ones. Thank you till then.